When a cow and her calf were spotted stranded on an island in County Meath last October, Meath River Rescue were called in. Sean Kelleher noticed he was one cow short. He had no idea what had happened to her until a neighbour spotted the cow and a newborn calf on a tiny island 2 months later.
Marion Gilchrist up the road, she knew about River Rescue. They had been here fairly recently on a more tragic event, and Marion suggested that we contact them because we were confronted with how to get the cow and the calf off the island.
There is a tree fallen forward on this side, and if we can get in around it, then that's fine.
On a warm October day, the team gathered to begin the operation.
As we speak now, they're just feeding the animal there, giving the strength to get across.
It was a complex mission. The cows had to be rounded up. Then the calf was taken over to the mainland first, where a crowd of well-wishers were waiting. Meanwhile, floats were attached to the cow, and she was swum across the short stretch of water.
Oh yes, they swim in different parts of the country. I think in Fermanagh, where they have the islands, and on the Shannon and so on, people are familiar with them swimming. They swim behind boats.
Yeah, boats just in case they get a fright or get into
yeah, and to entice them, I suppose, onto new pastures, really. I have to assume that she was possibly pushed in by some of the other cows, because I know in the group she wouldn't have been the most popular cow. And around that time it was very hot, and if they were drinking it from the lake, it's possible that she got pushed in and perhaps wasn't allowed back out and swam off to the island.
Finally, mother and daughter were reunited. It was a happy highlight for the volunteer men and women of Meath River Rescue, who are often called out in rather more tragic circumstances. Wayne Gunning went missing in February 2013. After an extensive search lasting 3 weeks, Meath River Rescue found his body.
I never thought very much about what they do from day to day, but we actually, through the 3-week period, going down, we walked, joined people in the rescue, and you see these people jumping in and out of the water, and they're just there all the time, and they were a great comfort to us during the 3 weeks, because it was tragedy. We were shocked, we were in shock. It was you just don't know what to do, and all the time they're coming in the briefing and telling us what's happening, and I just can't emphasise the work to do. They're just wonderful people, absolutely wonderful.
They were absolutely fantastic to us, and ever since that we have been in touch with them, and they've kept us going all the time with various conversations and counselling, and they're really very, very good, and very, very good people and great people to know, and they've been absolutely fantastic to us.
We want to extend our thanks to them, because what they do is so important for us as a family. What they allowed us to bring Wayne home and to lay him to rest, and an awful lot of people don't get that. Yeah. And we are so, so blessed to have those people in our lives that go out there and do the work and the type of work that they do.
Meath River Rescue patrol the Boyne on weekend evenings, just in case there's an incident, but it's also part of their continuous training programme.
Well, we're on call 24 hours a day, 24/7, and the way we work at the moment is we have a crew on call. We have a 4-man crew on call each week, and each member knows that they're going to be on call for that particular week. And if a call comes in, then our gear and everything is ready to go, and we can be ready to move immediately. We got a night boat last year from the Knights of Columbanus, and we started training at night last year, and they're just going up and down patrolling the river now at the moment. You could be on a call out and you're looking for a person's loved one, and when you're going through the rescue, you're totally focused on getting the job done. And personally speaking, I find that the toughest part of a search is when you're leaving. You're with the family, generally with the family, most of the time, and nighttime falls, and you have nothing to report to them. I find that the toughest. Eventually, then, when you do recover a person's loved one. There's mixed emotions, but you know, it's a somber time.
When Garvin Milligan went missing in 2010, Meath River Rescue spent weeks looking for him, using an old cowshed as a base.
They're so professional. I mean, you're not talking about a few men running out with a rucksack. I mean, the amount of equipment and everything, and they train twice, 3 times a week. I mean, they take their job seriously. And for a group of volunteers, like, they're getting absolutely all the money that's raised through fundraisers is all to keep this now going, to keep insurance, keep their boats maintained, their life suits. It's all for that. They don't get 1 penny for themselves, like, so it is tremendous for them as an organisation, and tremendous for men and women to give that time.
Months later, Garvin's body was found by the Fisheries Board in Roscommon, but Andrina was so impressed by the lengths Meath River Rescue had gone to, she nominated them for a Meath People of the Year award. After winning that, they secured Meath partnership funding for a new headquarters, which was supplemented by local fundraising.
Everything you see here is owned by the people of Meath. From boats, from jeeps to all suits, gear, diving gear. It's all owned by the people of Meath. There's no finance owed on all this. This is just totally people donating at our Churchgate collections, at all the fundraising we run. It's all owned, and it's vital stuff we need. It's a massive achievement from all the members of Meath River Rescue and the people that came on board with Meath River Rescue. It cost $371,000. 278 came from Meath partnership funding. The rest came from the County of Meath from donations. We did a campaign, sponsored a brick, which we raised $123,000.
Sitting in one of Meath River Rescue's 7 boats are over 24 life rings. After a good power hosing, they'll be returned to the council.
As we're out in the rivers all around the county, the river behind the Blackwater, we're coming across these life buoys. These are on all the bridges in the county. They have been thrown off bridges. It's unfortunate to see this happen in the county. These are the last things getting a rescue service or fire service can get to these people. It takes 5 to 6 minutes for the fire service or Meath River Rescue or the civil defence to get to these spots. Please don't be throwing them in. They are the vital thing for if anybody is in difficulty.
And how are the cow and calf saved in October doing now? Well, here they are in December, still out on grass, showing no ill effects from their ordeal. Farmer Sean Kelleher is immensely grateful to the men and women of Meath River Rescue.
Wonderful the way they responded to us, and they knew the lake because sadly they had an unhappy, tragic mission to it previously. But I think they're terrific the way they planned it, organised it and carried it out highly efficiently and in good humour. And also I think they were probably happy enough with this particular mission because thankfully it had a happy ending, and they don't always have happy endings on their exploits.